What up, y'all? It's your boy, Eagle Eye Miller. Welcome back to the channel. Now, today I got another raw banger for y'all. Today's video is going to be the top 5 things you shouldn't do when caught for shoplifting. But before we get into this video, man, y'all know what I got to do. I got to give a shout out to the Eagle family. What it do? You know what I'm saying? To the rest of the viewers, ladies and gents, welcome to the channel. If you are not a subscriber, go ahead and tap that subscribe button right now. Now let's dive into this video. So when it comes to the top 5 things you shouldn't do when being caught for shoplifting, these are the most top 5 things that you should never do, because I'm going to tell you, you do these things and it can be bad for you. You know what I'm saying? And so getting into our number 1 thing you shouldn't do when being caught for shoplifting is lie. Lie about your name, age, date of birth, whatever the case may be. And I'm going to tell you why. Because as an APA, I apprehend somebody, I bring them into the office. I already got the intentions of letting them go so I can go catch another motherfucker that I seen come in, or is selecting high theft merchandise. You feel what I'm saying? So during this time, I'm trying to get you in and out of the office. I'm not trying to sit in there for about an hour and a half waiting for the police to come and identify who you really are, shit like that. So I apprehend somebody, I bring them in the office. I have intentions on giving them a civil recovery and letting them go. But in the event of all this, they don't want to be straight up with me. They don't want to tell me the truth. They claim they don't have no ID, and they lying about it. And I know they lying about it because, because they scared, which is highly understandable. But let me tell you what happens when you lie about not having no ID, about your name, age, or date of birth. When I cannot physically prove who you are, when I cannot prove who you are, if I cannot identify who you are, the next step is calling the police, which is something that I didn't want to do, because now that's going to take longer and that's only going to piss me off. So now I got to call the police, and now they got to come, they got to fingerprint you. You know what I'm saying? If you really don't have an ID, and they got to determine, they got to identify who you are through their system. Now, there's been times where I've caught somebody and they lied about having no ID. So I call the police, and then they show up, and then next thing you know, guess what? Voila. They pull out a fucking ID, and now they looking at me like, why you call the police? I'm looking at the bitch like, why did you lie? Like, you could have been in and out of the office. You could have been on your way home right now. But instead, now you about to be prosecuted. You about to get 2 separate fines. You know what I'm saying? You just dug yourself a deeper hole by lying about something simple. All because you were scared, which is totally understandable. But I'm telling you, when you lie about your name, lie about not having no ID, you just dig yourself a deeper hole. And if you somebody with an active warrant, nationwide warrant, it's not in your best interest to lie. You know what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10, I'm trying to get you in and out of the office. I'm already looking at somebody else who's back there selecting high theft merchandise. So I'm trying to get to that person before they leave the damn building. You feel what I'm saying? But now I got to sit in here and wait to identify who this person is. So now that you done made me miss out on a bigger apprehension, now I got to prosecute you. You feel what I'm saying? Either way I go, I got to prosecute you. Now the police done showed up. So now I got to prosecute you. Now you got to go see the judge, and you're getting a fine from Walmart, and now you're going to get a fine from the court. You know what I'm saying? It just makes no sense. So that is the number 1 thing you should not do when being caught for shoplifting. Going into our number 2 thing you should not do when being caught for shoplifting is being verbally aggressive. All right. So you got you got people who, are scared, they, embarrassed when they're being stopped for shoplifting. And I understand that, you know what I'm saying? And half of the time, a lot of these people will get verbally aggressive with you. Fuck you this, fuck you that. you know, I'll beat your ass, nigga, I wish you would touch me, you know, that type of shit, which don't mean nothing to me. Don't mean nothing to me at all. You know what I'm saying? Sitting there woofing. Now, the problem with being verbally aggressive is now you were now creating a hostile environment for everybody around, whether it's associates or customers, and now you are presenting yourself as a threat because of the threats you have made towards me and my team. So now I got to get the police involved because I don't know who you are. I don't know if you strapped. I don't know if you holding a weapon. I don't know if you have intentions of physically assault me and my team once I get you inside the office. I don't know if you got a gun. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So I got to make sure me and my team go home at the end of the day. That is the number one goal because we got to be back in this bitch again to do it tomorrow. So it's not wise to become verbally aggressive when being caught for shoplifting. The best thing to do is just hold yourself accountable. Hey, look, man, yeah, I took it. You know what I'm saying? Either give the merchandise back, you go into the office, you know what I'm saying? You cooperate, you comply, you know what I'm saying? You good. But I'm telling you, being verbally aggressive only digs you a deeper hole. Because now, even if you get away, I done got your picture as you done walked out the door. With facial recognition technology, all I got to do is get out to the police. They gonna look you up. They gonna pull you up. They gonna find your address. They gonna come see you at your house, give you a summons, a trespass, and now you got to show up to court. You know what I'm saying? So whether you get apprehended, you go into the office, or you evade apprehension because you were verbally aggressive, I do not want you inside my store no more. And I'm going to make that known. Somebody with that type of behavior does not belong in my store. It is not a right to be able to come into a store. It is a privilege. Okay, I'm going to say that again. It is not, can y'all hear me? Good. It is not a right to be able to come into these stores. It is a privilege. So when somebody comes in there being verbally aggressive towards me and my team, I'm gonna make sure I set the tone the right way. So whether you cooperate, you come with me to the office, it's cool. We can handle business. We can get it out the way. Now, if you evade apprehension, I'm still gonna catch you. But the police gonna be at your residence. They're gonna issue you a summons. You have to show up to court, and there will be video. There will be a whole report, and there will be a dollar amount. So there ain't nothing you can do or say to justify how you acted. All right. So going into our number 3 thing you should not do when being caught for shoplifting is fight. Do not fight. I'm going to tell you why you should not fight when going out the door. And some of these people, some of my street niggas, some of my street people, they're going to be like, I don't give a fuck. Neither do I. Neither do I. Because there is one thing I never really had this problem. Compared to other APAs, I never had a nigga actually fight me, you know what I'm saying, to get out the door. Nigga might have pushed me, you know what I'm saying, shoved me out the way to flee, but a nigga ain't never tried to squab or bang with me straight up to get away with the merchandise. It ain't never happened. And I promise you, every day I went into work, I anticipated something like that happening, but it never did. But I'm gonna tell you like this: if you fight an APA trying to get away, you're gonna get hit with a felony right off the bat. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. So somebody who has never had a criminal history could fight an APA one time, and you gonna catch a felony on top of the shoplift and the trespass. And it's not going to look good on your record because you get that felony on your record, it's going to hold you from other opportunities down the road, whether it's having a good job. If you have a current job, you could get fired from that job. You know what I'm saying? If you are a student, you're a teenager, and you got a bright future ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? You got to start college. You know what I'm saying? About to go into college. I'm telling you that felony will fuck your college up. I promise you. I done caught kids who done fought me going out the door on their way to college, and because they got that theft on their record, shut the whole college thing down. You know what I'm saying? And people get mad at me like it's my fault. No. Hold that's that kid's fault. The kid came in here and decided to push out with a cart full of merchandise. Don't be mad at me because I did my job. If that kid was so worried about them going to college, they wouldn't have made the choices that they did. This is one of them hard life lessons that they got to learn the hard way. If you decide to fight an APA going out the door, just understand you're gonna get slapped with a felony. And APAs, if somebody ever fights you going out the door and they evade apprehension, don't worry about it. Like I said, get that snapshot of them going out the door, boom. Make your report, they're going to get caught. Okay, you slap them with that felony, slap them with that shoplift, and then you slap them with that trespass notice. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a done deal. All right, so that is the number 3 thing you should not do when being caught for shoplifting is do not fight. Don't fight. I know a lot of niggas fight because they scared, they embarrassed, things like that. But it's not worth you having a felony on your record. It is not worth you fucking up future opportunities that are coming to you. You know what I'm saying? Over a small, petty shoplift. You know what I'm saying? It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. All right, so going into our number 4 thing you should not do when being caught for shoplifting is create a hostile environment. And what I mean is you get caught for shoplifting and you sitting there acting like you didn't steal a motherfucking thing. You sitting there, you looking at me like I'm stupid. You sitting there, you looking at me like I made a bad decision. But me and you both know, not you personally, but me and them know that this merchandise is not paid for. So the worst thing you can do is act your ass in the process of all of that. Because the only thing you're doing is just making yourself look like a fool. You're a representation of who you are, where you come from, and your bloodline. Is that how you really want to represent your family, your last name? So be it. But the last thing you want to do is create a hostile environment, yell on the top of your lungs, this man has harassing me, this man is sexually assaulting me. You know what I'm saying? I had a female push out with $400 worth of unpaid merchandise at Target. I posted it on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? And in the midst of that, she's screaming, this black man's harassing me. He's sexually harassing me, trying to get people to come help her so she can flee away from the apprehension. Until the homegirl Marissa, shout out to Marissa, you know what I'm saying? One of my team members came out and was like, oh no, he's our loss prevention guy. So everybody that was gonna come and help her disengaged and was like, oh, that's on you. You fucked up. So after she seen that nobody was gonna come and rescue her, she was just like, all right, I'm done fighting. I'm gonna come to the office, right? So she did all that hooting and hollering for no reason for her to just come with me to the office anyway. So while we in the office, she goes, oh, well, I didn't know who you were. You were in plain clothes. You could have been anybody. Well, no, I told you upon approaching you that I am target, asset protection first. That was the first thing I did, was verbally identify who I am. And then when you said, no, I'm not coming with you, I went hands on with your ass. So don't sit here and try to play that bullshit with me. So with that, because she created a hostile environment, because she did what she did and her behavior was just unnecessary, yes, she got prosecuted. She did go to jail, you know what I'm saying? And she was trespassed. Now, has she just cooperated, came with me to the office with no problem, things could have went a little bit different. But she made her bed and now she got to lay in it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. So when you create a hostile environment, you put yourself in a bad position. You make things harder for yourself. You don't make things harder for me. You making things harder for yourself because now I gotta get the legal I gotta get the police involved. You know what I'm saying? Because I gotta make this stick. You sitting here talking about I'm sexually harassing you? No, I gotta prosecute you now. I gotta prosecute you. And I gotta burn the video to prove that I didn't sexually assault you. I was apprehending you and I never touched you inappropriately while doing so. So that's what happens when you create a hostile environment while trying to be apprehended. You know what I'm saying? And it only just looks bad on you because, like I say, you a representation of you who you are, your bloodline. So if that's how you want to represent you and your family, then that's on you. But it doesn't look good. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. So that is the number 4 thing you should not do when being caught for shoplifting. Create a hostile environment. You shouldn't do it. It only makes you look bad at the end. You feel me? So, going into our final thing you should not do when being caught for shoplifting, our number 5, our top 5 is play the blame game. Never play the blame game when being caught for shoplifting. I can't stand when people play the blame game. And especially when people go into blaming their own kids for what they did. I caught a female once who was with her kids, and I was watching her at self checkout, and she had like a high theft vacuum under her cart. She had a shark vacuum. She had some grocery items, some HVA and cosmetic items she didn't pay for, right? So I bring her back to the office, and she got her kids in there. You know what I'm saying? They talking to me. You know, I'm having fun with the kids. You know what I'm saying? And she's sitting here mad at the kids. She's sitting here like, oh, why I told y'all not to be touching stuff. I told you not to put that in that cart. Now you done got me caught up for shoplifting and all this. Wait till we get home. Excuse me? You just blamed your kids for what you did, for what you got caught doing? Oh yeah, this is about to take a turn for the worse real quick. That I went from 0 to 100 real quick. You know what I'm saying? Them children wasn't doing a damn thing but being kids. You know what I'm saying? Running around, horse playing. She was the one, obviously, who made the mistake. But the fact that she tried to blame her kids for her mistake pissed me off. You know what I'm saying? All my parents out there, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of parents out there that's still with their kids, and then when they get caught up, they like to blame their kids. That's the shit that I don't like. You feel what I'm saying? I don't like when people blame other people for their mistakes, whether they sent you in there or not. You made the choice to go in there. You the one who said, yes, I'll go in here and do it. You the one that said, yes, I'll go in here and do this return fraud. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the best thing you can do is hold your own self accountable, or just don't say nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? Because I got cameras everywhere. Got cameras to prove that what you saying is not true. You know what I'm saying? And then when you play the blame game, that only tells me that you don't like being held accountable. So today is your day where you are being held accountable. I'm making known that you're going to be held accountable today. It ain't going to be your kids trespass. It's going to be you being trespassed. It ain't going to be your kids being prosecuted. It's going to be you being prosecuted. You going to have to show up to court. You know what I'm saying? Your name is going to be in this report. Your kids ain't got nothing to do with this at all. So the worst thing you can do is blame others. Blame your wife. Blame your girlfriend. Blame your accomplice when you are the one who was caught for the shoplift. You understand? So, with that being said, people, if you are ever caught for shoplifting, if nobody didn't hold a gun to your head, it is your fault. Stop blaming other people. You know what I'm saying? Look, people got their reasons for why they steal. You know what I'm saying? They short on cash. They ain't got no support at home. You know what I'm saying? They lost their job. They trying to make it through. You know what I'm saying? I've heard it. I know the game. You know what I'm saying? Let's just handle this business. Let's get you in. Let's get you out of the office. Let's all go home at the end of the day. That's all that matters. That's the number one goal. We all go home. Especially for my team. The number one goal, the ultimate goal, is for everybody to go home at the end of the day, because we got to be back in this bitch again tomorrow to do it all over again. With that being said, Eagle family, ladies and gents, that is the top 5 things you should not do when being caught for shoplifting. It's your boy Eagle Eye Miller. Till next time, raw and unscripted.